What's up, visionaries? Welcome to another episode of Visions of Love and Relationships. I am your host, Tanya, and this is my wonderful co-host,
Lamar.
And we hope everybody's doing well as usual. God said, write the vision and make it plain. And so we did. Tanya, let's go. Visions of love and relationships. Hard times felt your vibe like you were ready to dip, but the visions had us focused, so together we built a foundation based on God, trust, and honesty. And then we chopped it up on the boundaries. I never crossed those lines. You were part of me. On my knees, thanking God above for sending such grace and shining His love. Butterflies at the thought of you. 18 years, let's make it 82. Hate on you, well then they hate me too. And deep thought, without you, what would I do? Visions of love, love. And I'm loving you. Last week, or let's say the last episode, we chopped it up on solitude and how important it was to, have that solitude, have that self-time,
Work on self.
Know yourself, get to love yourself, date yourself, everything self before you actually stepped into a relationship.
I mean, because you got a lot of wisdom you can show these young ladies who are out here starting these marriages and in a relationship, and they looking for longevity, and they looking for some keys and some wisdom on how to make that relationship last.
Absolutely. And we can definitely help you with that, because we've been in this thing for the long haul. And we've been in this thing for 19 years. Sometimes we lose calculation.
Yeah,
we lose count.
Yeah. And I would say if you see somebody they actually ready to remember the years that they've been married and come off the bat like that, I believe it's probably been some stressful years.
Yeah, I mean, because it's been so fast and such a great ride with my husband that, I just don't remember. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I remember our anniversary.
Yeah.
We'd be like, did we get married this year?
Every year is like that. We gotta add that thing in. The time going by so quick, and we had on our anniversaries coming up in February. So
we use our children as marks.
The marks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah. We'll go by the day so we lose track of time.
Because we've been together almost 21.
Yeah.
But we were just married for, we think, 19.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
19.
Yeah. We'll say
going
coming
on
up on 19. Yeah, but it's been a hell of a great ride. So let's talk about our beginnings and how we was able to keep it copacetic. What do you think is some advice or something that we did in our beginnings that, we can help others in their newlywed stages or in their, beginning stages of either dating?
Well, let's put it like this. Let's say the first 7 years, because like I said, we feel like most people don't really start hitting that roller coaster. If you're in a relationship and you rocky for the first 2-3 years, then I truly believe the way you do things is the way you do things. So what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
So if you see that relationship rocking, unstable, and this unhealthy early stages, first 1 to 3 years, then it's probably gonna be like that.
Yeah, and I have to say that you were a very trusting man, coming into the relationship, because when I first met my husband, I was clubbing. Like, I was younger in my clubbing stages, just got out of an abusive relationship. So me and my girl, we used to go clubbing, we used to just have a good time, and it wasn't like the club and looking for a man, and they were just going to dance and just having a good time, ladies' night. Okay. So my husband, though, he didn't have a problem, and we didn't even know that it was like communicating,
Yeah.
It was levels to it.
Yeah.
But back then, he actually did tell me, that he wasn't that type of person.
Yeah.
He let me know that he wasn't a clubbing type, and he didn't,
Do the
he didn't
club.
like that. Yeah.
I already did that. Been there, done that.
Yeah. And he was 19. Like, what did you? When did you have time to do that? But he had already been there, done that. And I was just, I was a late bloomer when it came to that. Like clubbing or, anything like that. So I was having the time of my life. But again, I said that to say that you really communicated to me what you didn't like. And then another time, I remember finna go out, you was like, I seen something in you. Like, dang, I thought I seen something in you. I'm like, ooh, ain't nobody never said that. But nah, that made me feel some type of way. Like, oh, he's serious. Yeah, like, oh, he's serious.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes you need that. Sometimes people need to say something different to kind of make you step back and think.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily slow down, but you was young though, so I mean, I didn't mind you going to the club.
I was young, but you was younger, so I thought maybe he was with it. Like maybe he gonna go out with me too.
I was in my money stage at the time, so I ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
I'm in the club 12 o'clock at night, 2 o'clock at night. I'd rather make some money.
Okay.
Versus buy some drinks at the bar, make somebody else some money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say, what would you say that took us for our first 7 years?
Took us where?
I mean,
like kept us
our first 7 years, the early stages of a relationship. What would you say?
I would say, the friendship that we had. We were friends first, like we were friends. We, like I said, we communicated. Mm-hmm. We had a friendship. We had good times together. You trusted me.
Yeah.
I trusted you. The commitment.
Man, I'm like 21 years old, 22 years old, though.
Yeah, but
that's when you supposed to, most people, they say that's when you're supposed to be out there ripping, running the streets and wild and no control, though.
Yeah. Well.
I mean, that's what they be saying.
Yeah,
I mean, I hear a lot of people.
That's what they say.
But
But
your early 20s and you supposed to
like you said, I guess you done been there. You done done that.
Yeah, it depends on the purpose, though.
Yeah. This man was definitely like God sent. Because he was ready. Like, he was a ready husband.
Yeah.
He was a ready husband, although he had a...
Spurts.
Yeah, no, yeah, spurts.
Was young.
No, I ain't saying that. I'm saying you had your girlfriend. You had a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Although that,
What?
You did have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
So, and I was worried you was going to go back to her.
Yeah. Worked out.
It worked out. So, yeah. He's a good man. And he make it hard for anybody else, boy. I tell you, can't nobody take me from that mountain, boy. All right. So what would you say, though?
You ain't saying nothing.
I did. I said commitment. I said commitment, trust, our friendship.
Yeah, like I said, I would say friendship. I mean, when we was young, the early stages, you know what I'm saying? Even though we had kids, you know what I'm saying? We still made time to enjoy each other. Yeah.
And that was another big thing about him. He didn't run from my kids.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's stages.
He blended in, and he wasn't like a goofy dude or somebody who, he was like a dad figure. Like, he wasn't like any dude. Most dudes just want to come in because you got a place.
Yeah.
And
get complacent.
Yeah,
Most people get complacent when a woman got a place and they ain't got to do too much work.
Yeah. But he really showed me, my worth. Like, he helped open my eyes. Like, even though, I was getting a clear head, because like I said, I was coming out of an abusive relationship. I was starting to get on the right track, and that's when God sent him, and he, he really put me up on game.
Yeah.
So, all that.
Yeah.
But I would say if you arguing already, and you just met, or you've been together for like a year, and your year seemed like it was 10 years, that's not good.
Time flies. Like they say, time flies when you having fun.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've been in a relationship, it feels like time is dragging. then that relationship is probably not good.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to only get worse. Because things, like I said, the way you do things, the way you approach things, is probably the way what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
So if your relationship is right, like I said, what you see is what you get. And I believe that the beginning stage, the early stage of the relationship, it should be the most fun stage, because you serious about the relationship, but you still curious about getting to know the person.
Yeah, absolutely. So how can it not be interesting, right?
How can it not be? You're excited, you growing, you getting to love somebody, you getting to spend time with somebody, and hopefully somebody you want to spend time with.
Mm-hmm.
So that time should be enjoyable.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing like you with somebody you don't enjoy the time with you. Our first 7 years, we barely argued.
Yeah. I don't think we
didn't argue.
argue.
No, we didn't
not
argue.
The first
No,
7
not
years.
the first year.
It took a minute. Excuse me. Them first years flew like.
But I was still young. I was still kind of.
I was still young.
Yeah, but I was still like out there running the streets a little bit the first year or two until I calmed down. After about the third year. Yeah.
I'm gonna give it about 5.
Nah.
But nah.
About 5 years.
He was running the streets, but he wasn't like running the streets out there with women and all that. He was just about his money. I had a little trust issues. I trusted you, but from past things, events that happened in my life, I had to work on, feeling worthy enough to be with you, because again, this was a man who was about 19.
Yeah, we were 19 when we first got together.
And every man I ever been with, I can't even call him a man, I'm going to say boy. This was the first time I ever even experienced, like, going on a date. Like, it was weird. Weird. Yes, they was, like, weird, So, yeah. At the middle, what kept us together...
So now you 7 years in, so now you working on this 14 years.
At the 14-year mark.
Yeah, so you've been 7 years, but now we're at 14 years.
Mm-hmm. Not only has it been 14 years, so I ain't gonna let things go easily.
Yeah.
So if anything would have happened, we would have had to work through that thing like we did. But I would say trust.
Trust.
Yeah, and we still had friendship.
Yeah.
And we developed a partnership. We was partners. We had the kids.
Yeah.
We had a routine. So yeah, trust. Yeah, still commitment. I still felt like you was very committed, and I know I was very committed to you as well. So commitment, trust, and we still, like I said, had a good friendship.
Yeah, and I would think like at the 7-year mark is when we started putting real goals in our house. Like we really started in our relationship. We really started reaching for something. Like so, our first reach was probably to get a house.
Right.
So we had attention about working together for a common goal.
Yeah.
So I would say, like I said, you gotta have love and friendship is gonna begin you in a relationship. That's going to take you from the first stages, the early stages of the relationship: friendship, love, and trust. But mostly friendship and love and trust. That's going to get you through it, the early stage. If you don't got that to beginship, friendship, love, and trust, then it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to make that. And the relationship is more likely going to be rocky.
Right. Because if you think about it, you got to have a friendship to even talk, and, come on one accord, even spend time. You got to have a sense of friendship.
And I would say the deeper you get into that, the more y'all spend time with together, your partner should eventually be your best friend.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. I would say the more you get into it, like say your partner, you should be not so. You have your best friends, but you should spend more. Your best friend is mostly the person you spend more time with.
Right.
So if you got a man or a woman and their best friend is their girl, and they probably gonna spend more time with their girl until you become their best friend. And the only things that make you become their best friend and they want to spend more time with you is time and energy. that you put into that relationship and communication.
Like, yeah, I have friends, but you my best friend. You know, so yeah.
So we spend the most quality time
together.
with each other. So
absolutely. So, do you want to jump to the now?
Yeah, I'm going now.
So now, you know, we more into God.
Yeah, like I said,
having
with
God. Yeah, having God in our marriage.
God,
you know,
God was in there first too, but not as much.
but
we were still
we
young.
wasn't seeking Him.
Yeah, we wasn't seeking Him. That's the big difference.
Yeah.
We wasn't seeking Him so much in the early first 7
Yeah,
years.
like we always believed in God. We was brought up, you know, to go to church and everything, but it was some stuff like I didn't understand, you know. So, and I'm sure some stuff you didn't understand when you was younger. That now that we seeking God.
Yeah, makes
and that's
sense.
how I know we putting God, you know, in our marriage because stuff's starting to make sense, and you know, we pray. We're more intentional about having God present.
Intentional. That makes a big
God,
difference.
Yeah,
to be intentional about, like I said, growing a relationship, and when you intentional about something, and you're gonna prioritize, it's gonna be at the forefront of your mind.
Yeah,
that this is I'm intentional about this, so I'm prioritizing this. I'm putting energy and time into this.
Yeah.
And just like jewels, diamonds, which is a woman, which is love, is like a diamond. It takes work. And the more work, you got to dig deep to get it. But when you come up with it, priceless. Especially if you get a big one.
Right. Yeah. And also now, like, now my baby get on my nerves. More than he ever. But he is still the most finest, sexiest, like, you know, I still get, you know, googly at it, you know, at the thought of him. So, like, yeah, it's like.
And this is after 19 years.
Yeah, he get on my nerves, but after that, you know, it went out.
Yeah.
I come back again.
And so that means it's with the comeback, too. That means real love and lasting connection, lasting love, you're gonna get in your nerves. But overall,
I love it.
I love it.
I love my baby.
Because you gotta take the stress with the curves, man.
It ain't really,
like Neil said, sometimes
I wouldn't really
love
call
you.
it curves. It's just that you know how.
It's nothing's gonna be all smooth and dandy. It's gonna be a little bump.
Yeah, every relationship is gonna have that anyway. But man, I'm telling you, I can see him walk past, and I just like, and hopefully he can do the same thing to me. I'm still in love. Like, that's how good it's been.
Yeah.
Like, the time done flew so quick, I guess. Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
But it's still like, you know, I'm in my romance stage.
Yeah, and right now, we on the grind so much. Kids are out the house. We're just getting over there. I had to get all the kids out of the house. Sometimes, like I said, I don't want to get in there, but them
that's
kids,
another story.
We're gonna get on them kids with them
that'll
kids.
be in the next episode.
You got to watch them because they will create barriers in love life. And you know, the triangle of God is God, husband, then wife, and then the kids are a product of husband and wife. So you don't put the kids before your relationship. I see a lot of couples doing that, and that's one thing that we didn't do. We don't.
We would say God, then your spouse.
Yeah, that's what I say. God, husband, your spouse.
Wife. Yeah. No.
But God, man, then woman.
Well, yeah, but spouse.
Yeah.
So for you, it would be me.
Yeah, for you, it would be
Yeah.
Yeah. Correction.
Yeah, but yeah. So the kids out the house and. We coping with that. We're learning to cope with that, and
cope. I ain't gotta learn to cope with that. You know the mamas you cope with that.
I'm coping with that, and you know.
I like the freedom of the brain, man.
Yeah, I like the freedom too, but the world is so cold that you know it gets me. But that's when you gotta have that faith in God. You gotta put it in God's hand, you know. I worry, but Anywho.
You can't worry and trust, God, have faith at the same time. You got to give it to
absolutely.
God.
Absolutely.
So whatever, if you want something, if you want God to take care of something, you got to give it to Him, and that means you can't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you still worry about it, you ain't trusting God, then it's probably gonna fall. That's why when God told the man come out on the water, once he started losing faith, he started sinking.
Yeah.
So that tells you once you start losing faith, God it's on you to keep the faith. As long as you keep the faith, God gonna keep doing His thing. But once you lose that faith,
I don't lose the faith in God.
You can't.
I don't lose the faith in God. What's up, visionaries? Thanks for watching. Be sure to catch the other videos to this video by clicking the box above with the video in it. And also, never ever miss another episode. Click the lions with the TNL to the right to be sure to subscribe. Till next time, see you on the next one.